Hi, I'm Donna Ong, and I'm from Singapore.
Hi Donna, welcome again.
Hi.
Well, maybe now question. It's alright.
Talking about your work in Tokyo in 2008 was really sudden. Like you made really like a miniature style sculptures, and that must be quite different from the scales that you're making in back home. What made you want to make this like a small sculpture? What was about the smallness in Tokyo?
Yeah, because I think before that, I was making really huge pieces of work and big installations, but coming to Tokyo and just being in the apartment that I was in, it was very small, and I had to, the bed was like, I had to put up the bed into the wall in order to have more space to walk around, and I could stretch, here is my computer, here's the bathroom, here is the kitchen. And I think just being in that proximity, suddenly when I was making work, I couldn't make work that was very huge, and I started thinking about smallness. And also when I went to Tokyo House, which is an artist's favorite shop, I was really amazed because at that time they had a sale about toy furniture. And everybody, a lot of women were buying it, and they went crazy buying.
So that's when you started finding those little bits.
So that was a special sale for at that time, and so I went there. I was really interested in how, like, every single item that you could think about, little pens, little scissors, little furniture, and in Singapore I've been working a lot with furniture, normal scale, and I thought it might be interesting to work in miniature, but do the same thing that I had been doing before, but in small scale, and see the difference in it.
Yeah, and then so you started like combining all these little pieces together, painting them matte black, silver, and you created these basically kind of like made up sort of kitchens or boats and things. In your head, was there a narrative which connected everything together? Was there like one person that lived in this miniature place, or was it just individual little?
I guess I was living in this apartment, and it seemed so quiet. I mean, I seldom see anybody inside, but I know there are people inside. So it was kind of also trying to imagine, what might be happening in all these little spaces, and just thinking about it. And so I would just take one piece of furniture, like a table or a desk or an ironing board, and start from there and just imagine like what I might be doing in it, with the furniture if I were in a room by myself. Yeah.
I mean, I think in a lot of your previous installations, like the word toy or like sort of childlike sort of aspects sort of come into it. I think often you're using sort of references to sort of dream imagery and sort of like children's sort of like stories. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's a theme which ran through into some of these new works here.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of my work is about children's games or imagination. The person used to be as a child, but now being an adult, looking back at that and not being able to get back to the same place. But
so is that a struggle, or like it's a bit of a sort of lost innocence kind of thing?
It's sort of, and when I came to Tokyo, I think I identified a lot with a lot of people here. I mean, a lot of the adults were playing with dolls, and they're playing with this little furniture, and you see the toys were actually made for adults and they're not made for children, and that is something trying to regain back that lost childhood, but yet at the same time you just can't, and that was why part of the furniture that I painted was, I painted it more darker color, somber color, to just get rid of that cuteness, because you're trying to go back, but you just can't go back. So there's that poignancy that is about that gap between trying to regain something but not being able to get it, or imagining you get something from replaying all these children's games. And there's something that is quite sinister that happens when you take a child's game and you play it too seriously as an adult. And I think that was something I was trying to do as well.
Right. And talking about the colors again, I was really curious that you kept all the colors in black, grey and silver, and that's kind of connected to the new work that you were making at the Hara Museum this time, this video work. You kept everything again, black and white. And do these colors also kind of reflect your feeling while you were in Tokyo, or is it have any particular meaning?
Well, I guess a lot of the buildings that we were, the area that we were at, I mean, there's a lot of greenery, but there was also like a lot of grayness as well, black and gray. And I think that kind of seeped in. And I mean, it was really funny when Thiago and I came together our work came together, and we were just like, wow, it's really somber, All our colors were very similar, and I think it's because, we were, I think we were traveling together a bit, and then, the things that we saw were very similar, and I think it just influenced, the aesthetics as well, which is all this quite muted colors, and I think that's something that we liked and we kept, in the work itself.
Yeah, I remember your works were matching really well together in the gallery space. That was really surprising.
But also, I think the black and silver, I mean, it's also, I mean, I'm not great with color also. So, it was an easy way to get out of it, to keep something very, very simple, and it will definitely match. And I think because a lot of stuff in especially small things, they can get very cute, and I wanted to get out of that cuteness and to have you think about other things besides, oh, it's so small and so cute. And so I think trying to change that color was a way to help me get out of that.
Well, what do you think of all this, the cute culture in Japan? I mean, generally, I mean, it's quite a major economic sort of thing as well. It's like it's everywhere, characters, and I mean, I suppose in Singapore too, it's quite a big, Doraemon and all these characters that are big sellers. I mean, I don't know. What do you make of all that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, personally, I've never been the sort of person who really likes things to look like cartoony, like stuffed toys and things. But I must say that after spending 3 months, I mean, even I was a bit swayed, and I felt like I wanted to buy one of those cute covers over my, my spray to clean my windows. And there's this cloth covers with the duck head, and the spray will come through.
Through the mouth.
Through the mouth. But I don't know, sometimes being around a place, you sort of get, a bit ingrained, and you start thinking in a different way, and something that you normally would not like, something that you start liking and just seeing it around you.
That's true. And then I suppose, it leads to the new video piece that you're showing at the Hara Museum, which I suppose evolves out of your collection of dolls in Japan and also outside of Japan.
That's
But it refers to a very interesting kind of historical episode, doesn't it? In the late 1920s between America and Japan. Can you just say something about that?
Yeah, I mean, actually, to backtrack a bit, it was actually Naoko who was told me about dolls in the first place. But I was asking her about it, and she was telling me that, she was scared of dolls because the hair will grow at night.
Yeah, Japanese people are always scared of dolls.
Yeah, that's right. And I was quite interested because, and you also told me that that in Japan that you don't throw away the dolls.
Not so easily.
You have to go to the
temple
and to learn that.
And they're burnt in a big ceremony.
And I was quite interested with it because previously I used dolls, but I always felt that a lot of people are scared of dolls, but they don't really know why they're scared, or it's a fear that the hair grow or the dolls will move or come alive. But I felt there was so much in there that I wanted to research about, so I started researching just based on those two stories that you were telling me about, and then I found out about the Ichimatsu dolls. And out of all the dolls, I like the look of that most of all. And then they mentioned that, when in the write-up, that the Ichimatsu dolls actually, the way that they look actually came from this 1927 Friendship Doll Project, when the American dolls got sent over to Japan, and also when the Japanese craftsmen created these special dolls. And a lot of doll makers were influenced by this project to make a new kind of doll.
Wow.
So that was
That's an interesting kind of project. And I mean, that was interesting at the opening of the exhibition. The American ambassador came, and his wife had just seen one of the original dolls that was sent to Nebraska or something. She was like, it's in the museum in Nebraska.
That's right, and they even had a picture on the phone.
Oh yeah, that's true. So you use these Western-looking dolls and Japanese Ichimatsu dolls, and the video is purely using like light and shadow. So the dolls aren't moving, are they? It's just purely you're moving the camera. Even the camera's still.
Even the camera's still. Yeah.
So you're just moving the light outside the dollhouse.
Yeah. So the light kind of represents time, but also, I guess I see the works as almost as a way to help you to look at something. Because nowadays when we look at an artwork, it's so quick, and sometimes by filming it and by moving the light, you just reveal a glimpse of the same thing.
Yeah.
But you are able to look at it slightly longer than if I showed you the actual dolls itself. Because you look at it and you think, okay, I understand it, you move away.
Right.
But with video and with the light, it's like slowly revealing a glimpse of it. So you stay because you want to see a bit more. And also I felt the dolls had a lot to say, just in the way that they looked. I can imagine these people, these children having grown up, if they met today, they would be as worn out as the dolls themselves. Maybe not so perfect skin, not so perfect bodies anymore, and just that things that they've gone through scarring their minds and their bodies. And when they meet, it's very ambiguous meeting. And so I felt that just the dolls, you looking at the dolls would be able to say more than if I tried to make them do something or say something.
And also you used 5 screens to show your video work, and the screens were quite small as well, and that kind of reminded me of the work that you did in Tokyo. Did you use the small screen? It's because of this idea of smallness in Tokyo, or
I think so.
The relationship with it?
I think so, because I think that, it's a very different feeling if you project it large. I've done it large as well. But when it's small, there's a sense of intimacy, because only one person can see it properly at a time. So you have to go in, and it's also about you taking that step closer.
Yeah, I got really close to the screen.
So you're making a commitment, as an audience, you make a commitment to see the work, and you step forward and you choose to see it. And I kind of like that, making that audience take that step and committing to the work, and having to go closer to see it. And when you see it, I guess it's an intimacy, because you're just really close up to it.
And it's nice, that kind of physicality, I think, and the dolls in real life, I guess, are quite small things.
Yeah, that's right.
There's all these scales happening. Kind of reminds me of the painter Barnett Newman, whose paintings are huge, but his optimum kind of seeing was 15 inches from the canvas. So you have to stand 15, and that was for him the way to experience his canvases. But it's whoa, it's interesting. So next time you come to Tokyo, you must do a huge work.
Well, Roger, if you give me a huge space, I will do a huge work just for you.
I will try to look for one.
Yeah, thanks, Donna.
Thank you.